Read those labels, friend. Silly time. Moon must be starting to get full. I've known Mel Brooks for over 20 years. He is one of the most inventive, bizarre, mad, stream of consciousness people I know. He's a writer, of course, actor, producer, director, a hassock. He has a new movie opening tomorrow in which he co-stars with his wife, Anne Bancroft, called To Be or Not To Be. Would you welcome Mr. Mel Brooks?
Polish tempo.
Yes.
Yes.
First of all, I saw the picture the other night with a bunch of people. We laughed. It's funny.
Oh,
it's a funny picture. It was meant to be, wasn't it?
Did you pay?
No.
Oh. I don't like
It
that.
hasn't opened and you're already counting the box office.
No, well, you know, you never know.
Yeah. Was this an expensive picture to make? I mean,
This picture cost over $450. Yes.
And I suppose when you put the color in there, I mean,
The color was another $100. I mean, it never stops costing money. These pictures cost a lot of money. The translation of Sweet Georgia Brown into Polish was another $37.40.
Now, since they haven't seen this, that's exactly true. The thing opens with a production number of the Bronski family singing Sweet Georgia Brown in Polish. And I said, wait a minute, they're doing phonetic Polish. And then at the end of the pictures it says, Sweet Georgia Brown, Polish translation by whoever the person was.
Tad Danielewski did the Polish translation. A beautiful lady called Ivana came from UCLA, and she helped us with our pronunciation. We dance in Polish, too.
That's right.
Which is a lot harder than singing in Polish.
That's right.
There's a lot of turning of the feet that I can't explain. Polish dancing will kill you.
The original To Be or Not To Be, I found out today, because I have in my den at home a 3-sheet, which is the big thing they put out in front of motion picture theaters, of To Be or Not To Be, starring, and on top it says Carole Lombard, and underneath, in 75% type,
Yeah.
Jack Benny.
Yeah.
Made in 42. He wasn't the major star that Carole Lombard was then.
She was fabulous. But Jack Benny was very, very wonderful in that movie. He was terrific.
It was his favorite picture, he used to tell me.
Yeah, he was, what a guy. You know, we did a little salute, a little tribute to Jack Benny.
Everybody who saw it with us are in the business, so right away we all said, isn't that nice to do for Jack? Because you go to this Kabelski Street.
Yes, in Warsaw, when Tim Matheson is running through the rain, hiding from the Nazis, we cut to a street sign, and it says Kubelski Street, and Benny Kubelski was really Jack Benny's name, so we did a little homage. And then my walk, when I came back to see Charles Durning once. Mm-hmm. So they called me Concentration Camp Earhart. I did just a little Benny, you know, that side to side.
We all grab a little here and there from everybody.
Well, he was a genius.
Did you know Jack well? Spent time with him?
I didn't know him that well. He saw Blazing Saddles. He wrote a note. He loved it. We met him at a Jack Lemmon play, and we talked later, and he was a wonderful, and he did my wife Anne's television special.
She's wonderful in it, too.
Yeah.
Your wife, Anne Bancroft.
Yeah. My wife is terrific in the picture.
She is?
I hate to say that she's better than me in it. I really hate to say it. I mean, I really hate to say it.
I mean, you're talking real deep hate.
Deep hate. She is better than me. And anyway, Jack Benny was remarkable. You know that, Joe.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
I'll bet you know it. You know, he was a victim of George Burns. You know, George Burns used to persecute him unmercifully. He would tear him. He would just make Jack Benny laugh at the wrong time. And one time Jack Benny was opening on a show on Broadway, and George got up in the second act. He stood up and said, "Laundry." And Jack Benny collapsed. I mean, they had to take him off stage.
He has him so sad.
Yes. And one day, I was at NBC at the truck. You remember, Ben's truck. Everybody eats a sandwich that they take you to UCLA Hospital later in the night from the truck. And anyway, George Burns was eating a sandwich. I was eating a sandwich, and Jack Benny came out dressed as an Indian. Dressed as an Indian with full feathers, fringes, beaded moccasins, war paint. And he walked to Ben's truck to get a cup of coffee, and George Burns looked at him and very quietly said, "Hi, Jack. Working?"
19 times falling down.
He couldn't go back and do the show.
My favorite, when we quit, Freddie knows it, was it Jeanette MacDonald? Or
yes.
Who sang? They were going to Jeanette MacDonald's house one night. And George says to Jack, "You know, Jack, it would be very embarrassing if when Miss McDonald got up to sing, you would laugh. That's all he said to him. After dinner, somebody says, Jeanette, would you sing? And Jack went on the floor.
Of course.
We'll take a break. We're coming right back.
Out of program.
Thank you, Doc. We're talking with Melvin Brooks about his movie To Be or Not To Be. Of course, you do the soliloquy. Yeah. Still playing the drum? Whoa. And it goes for your cat, too. Yeah.
I can make a living at it, but he's very good.
Yes, too good, yeah.
Yes.
To Be, or did you ever want to play Hamlet? You do the soliloquy, of course, in the picture, To Be or Not To Be.
I've always wanted to play Omelette, never Hamlet.
Omelette.
Omelette is the Jewish version.
That's right, Hamlet is, of course.
I used to work years ago in Yiddish theater. There was a guy called Ben-Zion Whitler. Nobody knew his name, but he played Hamlet.
Really?
Yes. It came out of the Jewish word for I forget or I forgot is vergessen. That's the Jewish word. The guy came out on stage. It's true. He's playing Hamlet. Walks out with the knife and everything, and he says, in Yiddish, you'll know what this is in English because it's easy, even for you, you big guy. He walks out and he says, zu sein und nicht zu sein. Das ist die Frage. Vergessen! He forgot it. He forgot the soliloquy. He walked off. He came back on.
Yeah.
But I do it in the movie. And one of the jokes in the movie is, of course, I don't even get that far.
Guy gets up.
I go as far as to be or not to be, and then it all goes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But I got Jack Riley waiting in the prompter's box to
Do we have a small a clip? Do we not?
I want to explain a little about this.
Why
clip.
don't you do that?
My wife, Anne Bancroft, whose name is Anna Bronsky in the movie, is sort of having a romance with Tim Matheson. I think she still is. I
Yes,
swear to
could
God.
be. They get wrapped up in those
Never mind,
pictures.
we'll talk about this after the show.
course.
Who's the lawyer that worked with you?
What?
I never mind. Anyway, I make a joke. My wife loves me, and I love my wife. Anyway, she is having this relationship with Tim Matheson, and the Gestapo arrests her, takes her out of the apartment. I come back to the apartment. I expect to see my wife in bed, and who do I find? Cut to Phil.
Here it is. From To Be.
You're not to be.
Sweetheart, sweetheart, sweetheart. So many hours with those Nazi censors. And there's some more bad news. They want us to cut out the gypsy number. It seems they don't like gypsies either. Oh, let's face it, sweetheart. Without Jews and gypsies, there is no theater. When this war is over, I'm gonna get you everything you need. You need a coat. You need a dress.
You see this?
Oh, you need shoes. And you need a shave.
I love this take.
A shave?
Andre,
Wait a minute. What is Andre doing in my robe in my bed?
Seletsky's here.
Where? Who's Seletsky?
Seletsky's here already? How?
He came by plane.
Are you sure?
I was just with him in his hotel suite.
What?
And I'm going back there to have dinner with him.
Good.
Harpo Marx.
Good. Who are you?
Sabinsky.
Sabinsky? Then who's Zelensky?
Seletsky. He's a spy. I heard him talking with Earhart on the phone.
Earhart?
Yes, he's the head of the Gestapo.
The Gestapo.
You were right. Seletsky's got that list, and he's taking it to Gestapo headquarters tomorrow morning, maybe even tonight.
List? What list? What are you talking about?
What should I do?
Go back as planned. The important thing is to keep Seletsky in that hotel. He mustn't get to Colonel Earhart with that list.
Wait a minute. This man is so dangerous. Why are you sending her back?
Somebody's got to stop him.
Wait a minute. Now, look, Seletsky and Earhart have never met. If we could find somebody to play Colonel Earhart.
A good actor.
A great actor.
A dead actor. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Look at me.
I like the cut. Look at me. You can't do that. He did it.
It was fun. It was fun.
That is what is called.
Thank you.
That is what is called a courageous double take. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, 3 snorers.
I took a long
shave,
time
yes.
with those after shave to fall asleep.
Courageous.
That was a long time. I enjoyed doing this picture.
Yeah, it looks like-
Alan Johnson directed me. Alan Johnson choreographed Springtime for Hitler. Alan Johnson is nuts.
Yes.
Anyway, he was one of, and he let me, he helped me take a lot of crazy acting liberties that I don't normally take, you know. But I play Colonel Earhart. I play Bronsky. I play Hamlet. I play Dead Seletsky with a beard and a mustache. And I also play Hitler.
That's right.
One day, the commissary was crowded. We only had 20 minutes to eat. I took my generals that were dressed up. I swear, I'm not making this up. Let me see. I want to get my comb so I can prove it.
Yes.
This proves it. I went out like this, as Hitler. I went out as Hitler with my mustache and my hat, my uniform. All of us, the Nazi general staff, we went to the Apple Pan Deli on Pico Boulevard to have an apple pan deli. Well, you never saw a service like that in your life. They were. Normally, you know, can I get you anything else, Mr. Hitler? More water, Mr. Hitler? I mean, we were in and out of there in about 10 seconds. I mean, but we really enjoyed it.
You also got a home box office special out?
Yes, it's Showtime.
Showtime.
I am doing a special on Showtime. It's the greatest acting of my life. I am playing a Jewish person. Yes. Because, you know, I'm not Jewish.
I didn't know that.
No, this is one of the great charades. What are you laughing? This is one of the greatest fabrications of all time.
You're revealing time?
I was 5'11", blonde, a Gentile with a perfectly little nose. I went into Mount Sinai for over 36 hours. They knocked the stuffings out of me. They pulled out my nose, they turned it, they bulbed it, they shortened my hair, they took 2 inches out of my legs because I wanted to make it as a Jew comic. I knew I'd never make it.
As a Gentile.
No, as a Gentile. See what happened to you?
That's right.
And anyway, on the Showtime thing,
You have a question thing from the audience, don't you?
Yeah, it's an audience with Mel Brooks. I went to London, and all of these English actors ask me questions, and they say things like, Mr. Brooks, what do you do when you're attacked for being in vulgar taste, for having bad taste? I mean, how do you respond to that? I usually say, up yours! What do you mean? That's how I respond.
What bad taste?
Bad taste. I got good taste.
I'll show you culture.
Don't tell me, I'll tell you. Anyway, on the special, I was my wonderful Bulgarian self. Hungarian? What did I say?
Yeah.
I was my wonderful Hungarian self. And I did a lot of things that amused them. One of the things that really broke them up, I think I may have done it here once. So encourage me. So I'll do it again.
Do it again.
It was the Jews with the sour cream in the mountains after they ate sour cream.
Yes.
When Jews eat a lot of sour cream, they go to a place called the porch. They go on a thing called a rocking chair, and they rock back and forth. And they make a fatal mistake. They sing Dancing in the Dark in a high key. And this is a very dangerous thing for Jews to do because they've eaten a lot and they are subject to strokes and they shouldn't sing. Now, listen, Bing Crosby in 1928 sang Dancing in the Dark in the right key. He's the only one who could do it. He's the only one singing low enough to sing Dancing in the Dark.
Didn't you tell me years ago?
Even when they pledge, Jews pledge high.
Yeah.
$2 anonymous. And don't forget where it came from.
Dorothy, when you worked the hotels, young, very young, right?
Yes.
You used to come out and you didn't really have an act, so you, what they call Tummel, just make stuff up, right? You did the man of a thousand, we introduced the man of a thousand faces.
Yes, it would puzzle them. It puzzled them. You know, Jews eat everything on their plate. They went up there, they ate everything. They're the greatest people in the world. They have heart, they have soul, they have Tom, they have a joy, a joie de vivre.
Joie de vivre.
Yes. The French have a joie de vivre.
That's true.
Jews have a anyway, and it's wonderful. But they expect to get everything.
Right.
They want an appetizer. They want the main course. They want a soup. They want a fish. They want dessert. They want a little pineapple. They want whatever they, you know. So I come out and I say, Mesdames et messieurs, nous avons ici ce soir, or something like that. I'd say, ladies and gentlemen, we have here tonight, may I introduce man of 1,000 faces, right? And I'd come out. You figure by the third face they get it, they'd laugh, right? They want everything. They were waiting. I said, man of 1,000 faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, how many faces can you do?
Nothing.
They're waiting for 1,000 faces.
18. 1,000 faces.
806.
He didn't do 1,000 faces.
He didn't. He did 806. To hell with him. Let him go to hell. I ain't gonna see him again. 806. And he came in $5,000. Well, can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
You know, my mother thinks that all this is real.
Really?
Yeah, I just want to show her. Mom, look. Here, Mom, look. Mom, it's cardboard. Here, look. The flowers are real.
Flowers are real.
Ma, the flowers are real.
Mother thought that was a real...
She always thinks, she says, what a view Johnny Carson has. I said, he doesn't see Hollywood, it's cardboard. I don't believe it.
Your mother's naive.
And she asked me, does you pay Doc over 100? I said, he's over. You know, Doc uses a very shallow mouthpiece. That's how he hits the high notes.
Really? I didn't know that.
Shorty Rogers, Doc Severn, yeah, a lot of them.
Nancy.
Bonnie Berrigan. No. He's one of the best musicians for a drunk that I've never seen.
We got to take a break. Terry Garr is going to come out and join us, and why shouldn't you? Are you coming apart? No. Terry Garr is here tonight, and she is a lovely young lady, most talented actress. Terry was nominated for an Oscar this year. She was also the co-star in the popular film Mr. Mom. Would you welcome Terry Garr? One of your straps is coming undone. That's all right. It's okay. Want to point that out?
Thank you.
How are you?
Mom, she's got nothing in the back holding it up.
How are you? Is that comfortable for you?
Yes, I'm fine, thanks. I can't come out here after Mel Brooks and tell funny little stories.
No, you come out and be charming.
Okay, what should I tell, recipes or something? Charming like Dinah Shore? So, I mean, he's so funny.
Is your insecurity complex starting with you again? I mean,
No, well, it's
you're
not a
lovely. You're
question.
talented. You're pretty.
Well, thank
You know, you all those things going for you.
You are prettier than I am. Yes. Taller and more talented.
No.
As a girl, no, for girl talents. Okay. Not for boyfriends.
Chauvinistic, you see?
No, I meant high singing, so, you know.
Yeah.
This is the attitude that
Do you
there is
sing
in
at
the
all?
whole world. No, not at all.
Never.
I was sang in Mel's movie, except that I had to be dubbed by someone who could sing. All Sweet Mystery of Life. Remember Young Frankenstein?
Yes.
At the end when she got...
Yes.
Yeah, but we needed a shrill voice, and your voice was too pretty. That's why we dubbed it.
He is the kind
Very
man
good
I think
recovery.
I've ever worked
Very
for.
nice.
Tell them what I paid you. They'll find out how kind I was.
$100 in cash.
100 in cash. That's about
He
it.
slipped it in my hand on the side. That's what I got for doing the movie.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh, I didn't think so.
No. She got $1,100.
You did a lot of movies when you were starting and not made much money at all, right?
This was the first movie I ever did where I got my name up there and everything. The Mel Brooks movie. What was it called again?
It was called Young Frankenstein.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, here.
Great movie.
Somebody said that money wasn't particularly important to you, though.
Well, it isn't particularly important to me. It does not buy happiness.
That's
That's
true.
the only statement. You know, Freddie thinks that's funny. I think he does think it buys happiness.
Yeah.
But I don't think it does.
Really?
No. It buys a lot of things.
Money buys girls for Freddie. That's what makes him happy.
Now, you
You
see...
see, very few people will go out to dinner and eat with him. You know, a lot of food falls out of his mouth. He buys people to eat with him because nobody who isn't paid will eat with Freddie.
Yeah, I know.
It's disgusting. You know. He'll tell you he wears a bib. They give him a bib wherever he goes. I made it up, folks. He's clean as anything.
What else do you want to know?
I don't know. Anything. Well, you're making good money now, though.
Yes, I'm making more money than I've ever made in my life.
But doesn't that make you happier than when you were not earning any money?
That's a hard question.
You mean you'd rather be broke than have money?
Oh, no, I wouldn't rather be broke, but, you know, responsibility comes with money, and a lot of my friends that started working and making money, they got business managers, and they invested in stuff, and pork bellies, and I don't know what the hell. And, I'm not good. I'm very irresponsible with my money, so I just save it, and I don't do anything with it.
Did you make some good investments?
Absolutely not. I've made the worst investments in the history of the world.
Like what? What did you invest in?
Well, well, first of all, real estate. Now, everybody knows that's a bad investment.
People always say you should put your money in...
No, I went wrong on some real estate property I bought.
What'd you buy, in Lawrence, Kansas, or what? That was fiction. That was also a fictional joke.
I bought some chinchillas.
Well, you mean raised chinchillas and breed?
Yeah, to breed. It was going to be a surefire deal.
That was a big thing a few years ago.
I know.
What happened? Did you buy the chinchillas?
Yeah, and they had a yellow streak on their back. Then they were no good. Well, a guy came around and inspected them and said, "This isn't a good kind of chinchilla. You've been taken."
Really?
And then a couple of months later, they decided this was a good kind. It was the champagne variety. It was called.
Ah, the rare yellowback chinchilla. The famous yellowback chinchilla. Everybody know that. You see, Andy, if you buy the yellowback chinchilla. Yeah, I think I get that now.
Yeah, the champagne. The champagne chinchilla.
We're going to come back to talk, okay?
Good. I have something serious to talk about.
I want to talk about something.
You should see, before
Will
you
you
go,
write?
you should see the look on the band's face. I mean, they really are animals. I mean, they are
That's true. We're going to return, though.
animals.
So there was an article somebody told me about you recently. Because you never know whether to believe the articles. Said you were a dreamer. Now, what does that mean? That you dream a lot at night, or?
Well, I don't know what that means exactly, you know, when they write things. But I think it probably means I have a low threshold of boredom. If I get bored when someone's talking, I just go AWOL, you know? Absent with open lids.
Yeah?
I just stare at the person and turn off. Don't you do that?
Sometimes. What bores you? I mean, what's your threshold of boredom about?
Well, you know, when people start talking, everybody's got their axe to grind. When they start getting on their axe to grind, I just want to go, uh-oh, this is a pitch. Yeah, what's the point? And I know I have to wade through a lot of stuff, so I just turn it off and wait till the end.
Terry, that's called conversation.
Yes. That's called communicating.
Somebody says, I don't like white bread. You say, someone says, I like 7-grain sprouted wheat. You don't say, go to hell. You say, oh, that's it. That's what.
Why do you like that bread?
Right.
You see it?
Conversation.
But would you like to be in that conversation? I mean, seriously, would you like to be in the conversation about bread?
We would be asleep with Walt Disney in the frozen basket somewhere. If we turned off everybody who talked. You know how many people bore us a day?
Oh, excuse me.
Well, 1,600 people a day talk to me about things I could go. But I don't.
Does you say, how are you?
Conversation, you say back to them, and there's one hair sticking out of your nose. You talk back to them.
That's a conversational gambit.
Yes.
Is it mainly men?
Vocal ping pong.
Yeah, men who do this?
No, it isn't mainly men. It's just people. I mean, well...
that pretty well
I don't
wraps it
know.
up, men or women.
No. I guess my perceptions, listen, are very wrong, and I admit this. You know, I was in London recently. I'm going to try to make this brief.
Okay.
And, this is about how my perceptions aren't correct. And I was going to do a job there, and I was doing costume fittings and pre-recording, and I was staying at this hotel. And every night I'd walk around the corner to go to dinner. Mm-hmm. And every night, somebody would go, oh, miss, and I go, he knows me from the movies or something, and I go, yes. He say, you want to come with me, and how much do you cost, and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. Oh. So, no, wait, so I think that I am,
They do that to me, too.
No. No, no, no.
Joe,
And
they're
he's
very,
very cheap.
they're very horny in London.
All right, we'll be back. Stay where you are. Now, you want to make this point. You were in London,
Yes.
and what was the point?
The point was that I was on business trip, and I was going to dinner alone every night, and I was approached by men.
Yes.
Now, men staying in that hotel that were in London on business were not approached. In other words, this wrecks my point totally. A woman alone is open for business, but a man alone is just a man alone.
That's a good point.
That's my point. So think it over.
We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.